when I told you that the circumcision has to do with following the law, it's a symbolic of following the law. When Jesus is talking about circumcised or uncircumcised, it has to do with the law. When God came to Abraham, and from making a new covenant, making a covenant, because it was a covenant between me and thee. From there is Abraham is named Abraham. Neither shall the name anymore be called Abraham, but the name shall be Abraham. For a father or many nations have I made thee. And you see here that there is commanded to be circumcised. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man shall in your generation, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger which is not of the seed. Okay, so we command to follow a law which is circumcision. We have no more bondage in the law. So, but also what he's saying is that he commands that he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised. So the newborn. But yet, to give a lesson also, he's talking about Abraham. When he was circumcised, he was not 8 days old. He was 90 years old. Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. So God commanded of the 8 days old to be circumcised, and he's giving a lesson also because he's saying Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised, and Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old, and yet the command was to be circumcised at 8 days old. So it must be talking about follow the law, but if you cannot follow the law, then you do what you can. In other words, because Jesus is encouraging people to do good. Jesus is encouraging people to do good work. But if you can't, you can't. And if you try, you can't. And if you even not try, but you are saved, you are still saved. Why I'm saying that is that the command is something, but not everybody can follow the command because of your own weaknesses. Not your own weakness, but your own weaknesses. Someone that has issue with drinking, for example, or drug addiction. You may try and not be able to achieve to get rid of it. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. So the law is to be circumcised at 8 days old. Yet Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised. So I think that the reason why Jesus is saying all these things, that Abraham was 99 years old, why he mentioned it, I think it's to give a lesson to the people of today, which we are not bounded in the law no more. We are saved by grace through faith. We are encouraged to do good. We are encouraged to do good work, but it's not a requirement to justify you to get in heaven. And if you can't do it, you can't do it. If you cannot do good work, then you still, if you're saved, if you're truly saved, if you're a genuine saved person, even if you ignore the law, even if you sin, if you are truly newborn Christian, then you're going in heaven. But normally, if you're a Christian, normally, you wouldn't go and commit murder. It doesn't make sense. If you are aware and conscient of your sin, then it would be very strange of you to go and kill people around. So that's the point here, and you got it. You can walk with God. Noah walked with God. He was perfect in his generation, just showing you how good he was doing. But yet, he sinned. So, That's it for that. Okay, there is a comparison to be made with Deuteronomy 13 and Deuteronomy 18, because I believe that Deuteronomy 18 is talking about Elijah, the prophet of God, that is come before the dreadful day of the Lord. So a prophet of God. And in comparison with Deuteronomy 13, which I think is talking about the false prophet beast. I'm going to explain you why. You know already Deuteronomy 13, I have many times talk about Deuteronomy 13 because I have a concern, because I think that Jonathan Clegg is fulfilling a lot of this, and in comparison with Deuteronomy 18, which talking about another prophet, but is a prophet that is raised amongst the wicked, but is raised to shall be perfect with the Lord the God. Okay, you've got a good prophet and you've got an evil prophet. I'm going to get to this right after that. In that he said, a new covenant, he had made the first old, now that which decayed and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Okay, so just as we are about to change time period, we are about to leave the grace period and to enter the Great Tribulation 7 years period. So you have covenant for each period of time. Old Testament, you had to follow the law. In our time, saved by grace through faith, you have to repent though. Don't forget it. It's the whole thing. You repent from your sin, you acknowledge that you need a Savior, it's Jesus, you believe that God rose him. This is what gets you saved in our time. And yet, in very short period of time, very shortly, we enter the Great Tribulation, and people that are saved now, they won't live it. They are taken in the rapture. Just wait and see. We will see anyway what's going on. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't, but it happened. It's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their father in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, said the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. So do you see, the law is a new. The law is a new. The new covenant, saved by grace through faith. Jesus put his law in you. He write it in your heart. The old covenant, you had to follow the law. He was taking you by the hand. This is the book. So now you may say, okay, if the law is in your inward parts, how come saved people can continue to sin? Because of the flesh. Because of the flesh. Okay, there is something about the book of the generation of Adam, because Genesis 5 is talking about the generation of Adam. And look at what is happening there. You got Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, so the beginning, Adam, to Noah. And after Noah, then it's it's after the flood. Okay, so it's began all over again, because all the people was taken in the flood, but Noah and 8, I don't know how many people with him. But when it's talking about all the generation, it's pretty much straightforward. Else, on specific verse, it's like talking about some things. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. So you see, it's straightforward all the way. But you have here when he's talking about Noah, and he called his name Noah, saying, "This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands because of the ground which the Lord had cursed." So in all the verses describing from Adam to Noah, there is a change, there is something specific here. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters, and all the days of Lamech were 700, and it's go on, and it's finished here with Noah for a new beginning.